Hello, tarot friends. I decided to just pop on and do a live chat about Ostara, which is coming up. Hold on, let me find myself. Okay, it shows I'm live. That way I can, if I use my phone, I can follow along if there's any chat. Hello, one viewer. I'm curious, when did this? Okay. I accidentally hit go live before I intended to. So that was just a thing that happened. Yeah, so I was on, I think yesterday or the day before, and then I thought about going on today, and I just didn't earlier this morning, and then I just decided to pop on and do a brief chat. I gotta go eat shortly, but I just thought I'd pop on. Here's my new Moonology deck, which I definitely am really enjoying. And here's the flower therapy, which I kind of just busted out for spring. Let me see. I do have some of my decks sitting over here. The Gateway Oracle cards I meant to use the other day, and then I didn't. So I'm just going to draw one for fun. Oops. So yeah, I was on Tarot Oracles Live. I just kind of saw the end, and then I had to get up towards the end, and I had to get up, and I missed the end. So I kind of missed the whole goodbye thing. Accepting what is. I accept and embrace my inner majesty. Oh, fancy. Except that I missed the end of the live feed. But it just got me thinking, why don't I see if I can go fit in a quick live feed? Taking action. I enthusiastically embrace life's boundless possibilities. Cool. I feel like that really just fits what I'm saying right now. Oh my gosh. If you don't watch Tarot Oracle, he goes live every night at I think it's like 6 or 7 Eastern time. Definitely check him out. It's funny. It was very funny tonight. But we always have a lot of laughs over there. Lots of fun people. Yeah, so I was thinking, just tossing around some ideas, but I was thinking that maybe the next time I do a live reading, I'll do a different style. What I was thinking of was like a keyword. Okay, so I was thinking it's really hard to keep track of everything. So I thought what I might do is say, I'm going to do 10 questions in between, whatever else it is that I'm chatting about. And then have like a, if you want a reading, this is not for now. This is for later on, that I would say for those who want a reading, they should post their favorite tree, but each one that I pick is going to be a different tree, or post a tree. It doesn't have to be your favorite. And then I will see, I have to work out this, like how I'm going to say it. And then that way, so someone posts something and everyone's saying, walnut trees or whatever. I'll pick the question, and then I'll write it down, and then I'll write down the kind of tree, and then the next, I won't pick any more people who say walnut. They can repost if they want with a different tree. It's fine. And then I'll just close it. I close it for readings because it gets so chaotic. So I don't know if anyone has an opinion, if you think that sounds like a good idea, if it sounds too complicated, or I don't know. What do you think? It just maybe a little fun to try something and get people, what's the word? Interacting, I guess. Or it could be something else, like naming a crystal or a flower, or maybe something related to the month or the season or the holiday. Like if I had gone today, something to do with St. Patrick's Day, or I don't know. See, you talk things out and you get more ideas. Hi, Ishika Asawa. I don't know if I said your name right. How are you doing tonight? I'm gonna read a little bit about Ostara if I ever get around to it. From this book, which I should really get to. I just drew a couple of cards for some visual interest, and I just got this Moonology deck. So, and also for like a general message for the collective, I guess, is about accepting what is and taking action. So now I gotta have something because I don't really show my face. So since you don't see me chatting away, there's gotta be something to look at, right? I'm not doing readings because I'm not gonna be on for long. So I'm just, I'm gonna be, I'm not doing card readings, but I'm gonna be doing a reading from a book about Ostara, which is the spring holiday, and chatting if anyone wants to chat about the next holiday that they're about to celebrate. So we have full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. So Ishika, I will be doing pretty soon. I will be redoing a live reading video again, but not this time. So it says I have one person in the chat. I'm just gonna draw a flower card. So this is a flower. All right, I got 2. Flower therapy. And then I'm gonna dive into the reading because I want to get this read before it's time for me to go eat. So new idea, crab apple. That's funny because I was just discussing my new idea for a new way to read the next time. So I'm gonna put these up here, these up here, and these up here. And then I also got laughter. Uplift yourselves and those around you through loving laughter. But I think just for visual interest, I'm just going to stick with 4. I feel like that's probably enough. And I don't really know if you're going to be able to see the other ones that well. I kind of wonder if... I don't know. Just do it like that. All right, so I'm going to read Prayer Tree Magic. So if anybody is watching and they'd like to let me know what the next holiday they're going to celebrate is, and is it a religious holiday, a state holiday? Is it a pagan holiday? Not everybody who's interested in tarot is pagan, of course. So, Prayer Tree Magic by Blake Octavia Blair. It is the time of the spring equinox. Anticipated by many, this Sabbath marks the official beginning of spring. Yay! We just finally got some nice weather today, maybe yesterday. Starting to warm up, so that's nice. Whether we are still in the snowy wonderland of bare branched trees that form lace against the sky, or we are starting to see a green tinge in the treetops, signifying the peppering of emerging buds, spring approaches. Trees are there for us, providing their stoic presence and connection. I lost my place. To the sacred year-round. It's really no wonder that cultures throughout time and the world over have used them as sites and even conduits for prayer. Many people's minds only turn toward actually contemplating and communing with trees during their times of shift and transformation. Everyone takes note when the leaves change color in the fall, creating a gorgeous fiery autumnal canopy, and when the bare branches reach the sky in winter. Of course, now we look for or notice the buds as a sign of the coming green in spring. However, in between these times of transition lies the majority of the year. The spring equinox is a great time to ride the energy of growth, new life, and new beginnings, to commit to growing our understanding of the sacred relationships that we can have with trees. When a tree is used as a focal point and partner in prayer, it can be communed with throughout the entire year and a relationship can be built. Many cultures have maintained this practice from ancient times to the present day. I feel like I should definitely plant something or do some kind of growth spell. I don't do spells very often, but it just seems, I don't know, like a really good idea. Shamanic peoples from Mongolia and regions of Siberia use a form of prayer tree called Beresa. The Beresa, I don't know if I pronounced that right, represents the world tree. For the practitioners performing a ceremony in the Beresa, it mirrors and becomes their axis mundi. The spirit of the tree itself is communed with and honored, but the tree also serves as a conduit to the other worlds, filled with a plethora of spirits to be honored and worked with. Drumming and dancing during ceremonies is extremely common, as the drumming acts as a sonic driving technique to assist in carrying the trance state as the shaman travels to the other worlds and merges with spirits. During the ceremonies, offerings of food and drink are made. Traditional offerings include vodka, milk, honey, and prayer ties or flags. Oh, yeah. The prayer flags tied to the Siberian and Mongolian beresas often take the form of kadags. Kadags are ceremonial scarves of various colors. I actually have a deck of cards that has prayer flags. They're called something else on trees. But I don't have that deck out right now. Well, each for various purposes used in Tibetan Buddhism. Shamanism in these regions is often very heavily influenced by and incorporating elements of Tibetan Buddhism. The Beresa becomes a place of power, and it is used over time, ceremony after ceremony. The shamans from the Buryatia region in eastern Siberia also similarly use prayer trees. However, they specifically hold the birch tree sacred for this purpose, even planting entire sacred groves of birch for their use. So if anybody is watching and would care to comment, do you have any tree that's sacred to you personally or sacred to your religion or your deity? I'm looking at something across the room that needs to be fixed. Or, that is sacred. I feel a special connection to the willow tree because I always have, but we had a willow tree, big weeping willow tree growing in the front of our yard when I was a kid that I used to try to swing on like it was vines in the jungle. Of course, it wasn't strong enough for that, but we just really love that tree. And the tree is not there anymore because the willow tree seeks out water and the roots would go down. I'm assuming this is why, but my mom told me she had to get the roots cut back several times because they would keep trying to grow towards the water tank or whatever it was in the house for the water. And, if left to do that, they would be destructive. So somebody probably said this tree is a problem and just they didn't want to deal with that. They just had the whole tree taken out, which kind of made me sad because that tree was like my friend when I was a kid. Anyway. Okay. The connection of sacred trees in Buddhism doesn't end with the shared ground of Buddhism and shamanism. In fact, the Buddhist tradition itself holds trees in a sacred place. The sacred Bodhi tree plays a pivotal role in the story of the Buddha Gautama Siddhartha's enlightenment. I'm not even sure how to say Gautama. There's a Buddhist temple. I should probably watch a video that will tell me. At Bodh Gaya, India, at the site said to be where Siddhartha obtained enlightenment while seated under a Bodhi tree. This Bodhi is also known as a sacred fig, Ficus religiosa. Interesting. The temple, Mahabodhi Temple, has a sacred fig on its grounds said to be descended from the tree that the Buddha sat under. For this reason, the temple is one of the major sacred pilgrimage sites for the past couple of thousand years. And I know that the ancient, Sumerians or Babylonians had Asherah, I think. And there's a whole thing in the Bible about trees and stakes that were planted in honor of the goddess. If you kind of know what you're looking for, or if you really know what they're talking about, there's some Bible verses where they're, Jehovah's, of course, upset about them, so sending everybody out to destroy them, and of course warning against worshiping these trees or these posts or whatever. This related to Ostara, not Ostara, Asherah, I believe, Ashtaroth, maybe Ashtaroth. I think Ashtaroth is the male demon that got it named after the goddess. Okay, so there's stuff I know, but just enough to be confusing. Anyway, of course, throughout regions practicing Tibetan Buddhism, prayer flags with different printed designs colored to represent the 5 elements can be hung in trees among other locations to carry prayers on the wind. The sacrality of trees, I don't know how you say that either, is inherently displayed on their being chosen as a century to hold such vessels of prayer. As we continue looking at just a few of the cultures that engage in their own version of prayer tree magic, we of course will start to notice patterns of parallel practice with obvious similarities. One such practice is that of the Celts. Yeah, it was the Celtic. This is actually what was in the deck that I have. And the use of prayer ties called cluties or cloudies. This practice carries along the elements of tying prayer ties and flags to trees, as well as the practice of sacred pilgrimage. It is still a fairly popular practice throughout the British Isles and Brittany. Strips of cloth, colors chosen carefully for intention, are tied to the branches of sacred trees. Imbued with intention, they are to carry prayers to and petition the nature spirits of place, and various saints and deities for their assistance. I am a real believer in spirit of place, which makes me interested in, what were the practices of the people who lived in this land when they were living close to the land. So the natives that we, being careful to not culturally appropriate, but just to learn what they make available in, to the general public in a respectful way, just to kind of understand, what they came to know about this place. Anyway, though not a requirement, the trees are often situated near healing wells, springs, and bodies of water. In these cases, the cluties are often dipped into the healing waters, and if the petitioner has an ailment they're praying for healing for, they may rub the affected area with it. Oh, just a moment. Oh, ouch. Hello, Tower friends. Sorry, I got called away. It was just easiest to shut the... Dang, am I live again? Oh, excuse me. Hold on. One more time. Okay, I'm back, and I'm out of breath. Okay. Hi, Andrew.
I just wanted to say hi.
Okay.
Maybe in one of your videos again, like this sometimes.
Okay, sit there. Sit right there. All right, my little guy wants to say hi. I'll open it.
Hi.
Hold on.
They can't see my eyes. There we go.
Okay, so look here and say hi.
Hi.
Tell him to be sure to like
And subscribe.
Say it from the beginning.
Be sure to like and subscribe. And I have my own YouTube channel. And like on subscribe on my YouTube channel. And on YouTube, there's also a bell button.
Yeah.
Which lets you know when new videos comes out. So hit all three of those buttons.
Okay. Can I go back to what I'm doing now? So,
okay,
I think it's still recording because what? Yeah. Your cards, we got kid.
I'm still here.
Last time when I was recording, it literally just stopped and I was going on for 20 minutes before I knew. Anyway, Andrew, I don't know, have you been here since the beginning? Because I'm wondering if you heard my idea about trying to mix it up a little when I do live readings again. So it was just a thought.
Were you talking to
trees? Me? No, Andrew.
Is that one of the people that watch your videos?
Yeah, he's right here. He said hello again because we were talking on the other video I was watching where somebody else was live.
Wait. Oh yeah, people can watch videos live, which means they're being made.
Yes, this is live right now too.
Yeah, of course, because I'm here.
Okay, so my thought was I would, because it gets so confusing and it starts to scroll so quickly, that I would just say, like, I'm going to do 10 readings and journey. Shh. Because if we're both talking, it's hard to hear. So I was going to say something like, I'm going to do 10 readings, and I would say if you want a reading, they should name a tree and ask their question, but I'm only going to do like one question from each tree. So you have to come up with a tree that somebody else hasn't said. And then I would just pick from the questions and write them all down. And then like once I got the 10, I would say, reading requests are closed, and then do the readings like, and then if I was doing anything else, any discussion or talking, to people. So that was my idea for something to try the next time. And then I thought maybe trees, which I'm reading about trees right now, or maybe something else that fits like whatever kind of theme or whatever. Like if I wanted to do like Ostara or Easter, I could say like name something to do with Easter in your question, but each, question has to have. Does that make sense or is that confusing? Okay. So you let me know what you think about that. And then I'm going to go back to reading from this book, which I didn't get very far, so you can catch up later if you are interested. So this is though not a requirement. The trees are often situated near healing wells, springs, or bodies of water. In these cases, the cluties, those were prayer cloths, are often dipped in the healing water. And if the practitioner has an ailment they're praying or healing for, they may rub the affected area with it before tying it to a limb or branch of the tree. Though healing prayers are a common intention for cluties, the range of different intentions for cluties are as numerous as any other type of spell work. Journey, you're making noises. Many species of trees are used as clutie trees. However, oak and hawthorn trees are particularly popular. I have a bush in front of my house that may or may not be hawthorn. Really hard to tell. Anyway. Also, any tree known to be a fairy tree, which hawthorn is a popular candidate for a clutie tree. It never hurts to have the good folk on your side. Thusly, the traditional triad of fairy trees, oak, ash, and hawthorn, are often used as prayer trees and found bedecked in a finery of cluties and offerings. Okay. I thought it sounded fun, but I didn't know if it sounded confusing. So.
This does have batteries.
It's good to get that feedback, so thank you. What would you like to add to the story here?
Well, I'm not adding.
It does have batteries, yes.
But you said
my son is telling me that his toy has batteries. Well, the problem wasn't that it didn't have batteries. I don't know. We tried to set it up. It didn't work. I can't remember what exactly the issue was. Like, it didn't have something it needed.
Wait.
Okay, honey.
I think I know what.
Shh, I'm going to try to read this, okay?
The batteries didn't have power.
Okay. Another type of tree that holds particular sacredness for the Celts is an apple tree. Also, earlier I was talking about sacred trees or trees that are personal to anyone that wanted to join in. Like mine was a willow tree because we had a big willow tree in front of our yard growing up. We had a willow tree and we had a walnut tree, and it was Walnut Street. So, okay. No. The GOOGLE wanted to. Well, thought I wanted to talk to her. Let's see. Sorry. There's something, of course, inherently magical about a fruiting tree. A grove of apple trees tended with love and care will produce a crop of fruit to then nourish us as we have so nourished them. The lore of the sacredness and magic of the apple tree and its fruit goes far deeper into the mystical, with its connections to Avalon. My dad's house had an apple tree, and I really I loved the apple blossoms on it when it was in blossom. Let's see. Charisma Hewitt. Hey, how you doing? I'm reading about trees in Ostara, and I am having a wonderful night, and I actually turned on the AC because someone's cooking downstairs, and I wanted to cool it off a little, and now it's starting to get cold. So I have to remember to turn it off.
And I smell something.
It's probably cooking. So I'm going to try to get these couple pages read if little Journey here will stop interrupting me so I can go down and eat. In fact, Avalon literally means Isle of Apples. It is said that apple trees grow in abundance in the forests of Avalon. Glastonbury Tor, which lies in the country of Somerset, is said to be the location of Avalon and perhaps its entrance in the apparent world. Interestingly, those who hold the stories of the Avalonian otherworld sacred will surely let you know that the country of Somerset is also indeed home to a large number of apple orchards. Coincidence? I'll let you decide. In the Japanese tradition of Shinto, trees often serve as Yorish Thursday. Tonight's not a night that Dr. Mystical goes on, is it? I can't remember what nights he's on, but if he's on, I'm going to have to go watch him in a little bit. I definitely don't want to be on when he's on. In the Japanese tradition of Shinto, trees are often serve as yorishiro. Yorishiro are objects capable of housing spirits, serving as vessels. Wow. The spirit they house are called kami or kami, Kami. While kami spirits are hard to describe in a brief description, it can be said that they are the elements of nature and the essences they possess all at once. I'm going to just put these down here. Just there. Where was I? Wow, he's never film with kids or animals. That's what the stars say.
Slithered.
While kami spirits are hard to describe in a brief description, it can be said that they are the elements of nature and the essences they possess all at once. Some even believe ancestors can become kami after death. Honey, you're putting shadows everywhere. Kami are also considered manifestation of the power of the universe or the life force. Similar energy. YouTube will probably decide it's a kid's video because there's a kid who showed his face for a couple minutes. I'm so distracted. Similar to the concept of mana in Maori belief or prana in Indic religions. Journey, can you please be still? Or go back downstairs. These trees housing the kami have become sacred themselves over time, increasing their power as sacred sites due to the combined powers of the tree as a sacred being and spirit itself. As well, why don't you go down and see if dinner's ready?
I'm just gonna.
As well as that of the kami housed within. These Yoroshiro trees become sacred shrines themselves, attracting regular worship and pilgrimage. They are often marked with the tying of ornaments, ropes around their trunks. This is why I need to do this during the day when they're in school, or he's in school. Again, we see many cross-cultural similarities in practice with some of the cultural traditions previously discussed. Is it done?
Yeah. It's ready.
Okay, can you go down there? I'll be down there in just a minute. Sacred trees have even had their role in creating and maintaining communal peace. The Iroquois legend of the eastern white pine is exemplary of this. There are 5 nations whose lands abutted to each other in the area we now know as New York State. The Mohawk, the Oneida, the Onondaga, the Cayuga, and the Seneca. The legend goes that a man named Decanawida wanted to bring peace among the 5 nations who were constantly at war with each other. So, Decanawida decided to travel throughout the 5 nations and attempt to create peace and unity through dialogue and understanding. Unfortunately, as is often the case, he was not always met with a kind listening ear or people understanding of his mission. However, Decanawida decided to plant an eastern white pine on the land of the Onondaga Nation, which was situated geographically in the center of the 5 nations. Symbolically, this tree is said to have 4 roots, dubbed the Great White Roots of Peace, which extended out to the 4 cardinal directions. Very interesting. The eastern white pine also featured 5 needles per branch and thusly symbolized the 5 involved nations. Decanawida Wida, according to legend, was able to get leaders of the 5 nations together under the sacred tree to discuss important matters and bring peace among their nations. Anthropologist A.C. Parker even posits that Iroquois and Westerners might have buried weapons under trees or planted trees on top of the buried weapons as part of peace treaties. Actually, we go down until then. I'll be down in a minute. Or no? No. Of course, the act of planting a tree in and of itself can be a form of prayer that can cross over the bounds of specific religions. Trees are often planted in memorial to people who have passed away. It is becoming popular even to plant trees as part of wedding celebrations, with newly planted trees growing from love and care along with those getting married, whose relationships also grow with love and care. Planting a tree is also a fantastic addition to a house blessing. The planting of a new tree in a new home signifies the putting down of roots and creating stability as the new occupants grow and create a life in their new home. My husband and I included the planting of an apple tree as part of our house blessing that was performed by our grove. The author of this, of course, I do not have a husband. We already had another apple tree to be pollination partner for the new one. As spring settles in around us, bursting with budding new life, think about renewing your relationship with the sacred tree spirits that exist around you. Tending to trees helps leave a legacy that will outlive us in our current human incarnations. When we invest in trees, we invest in ecosystems and all life in this great planet, both present and future. In closing, I'll present you with an old Greek proverb. A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in. So the references for this article, here's your snake, Silly. Roger essay, hopefully no one's terrified of snakes. Tree of Peace, the Iroquois legend of the Eastern White Pine. Mickey Mueller, A Voice of the Trees, a Celtic divination oracle. And names I cannot pronounce, who wrote Siberian Shamanism, the Shana Ritual of the Buryats. So I found that to be really interesting, even though I did get distracted a lot, even without this one distracting me. Hopefully you did too. Honestly, there's some stuff here that I'm gonna wanna do a little research on. So let me know if you want to hear any more about prayer tree magic, or if you prefer to move on to a new topic.
I'm going to go dinosaur.
Well, it's time for dinner, so I'm letting you go. And we'll
wait, it's still recording because I moved the dinosaur.
So until next time,
Part of the video.
Be well, tarot friends.
Bye. Wait, bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Waving bye.